Sometimes it's good to go into a game relatively blind. Apart from Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the original Streets of Rage was my favourite Mega Drive game. I spent hours on it back in the days of using plastic cartridges to get my gaming thrills. Adam was my character of choice, but I still had a soft spot for Axel and Blaze. They were cool cats clearing up the streets one kick at a time, and I'd missed those guys a lot. Playing the original now still holds up, but it lacks the polish and speed. So when Streets of Rage 4 was announced, I couldn't have been happier. Still, I stayed well away from the trailers and marketing as much as I could, just so I could experience the new game without any preconceptions or expectations. From start to finish, Streets of Rage 4 is everything I hoped it would be and more. The combat has a satisfying repetition to it. Outside of the standard punches and kicks, you have certain specials for each of the 4 starting characters. Axel has a Ryu-like uppercut, while Blaze has an electricity field that burns anyone in range. The 2 new characters are a welcome addition to the lineup. Floyd is a huge dude with bionic arms that uses them to grab enemies from long range, who can also grab 2 enemies at a time. Cherry Hunter, daughter of Streets of Rage legend Adam Hunter, uses her rock guitar to dish out punishment, making the most of her agility to gain the upper hand in battle. Back in the originals, you could use a special that called in a reinforcement cop car to fire projectiles into battle, but now each character has a unique move of their own. Using them effectively replenishes health, but if you get caught, your health will deplete, so you need to be careful when deciding whether to bring out the big guns. The flow of combat is so good too. Striking, grabbing, jumping and utilising special moves makes every fight feel different, and when you have a second player join the mix, there's plenty of room for improvisation. Environments are stunningly hand-drawn thanks to the talented bunch of developers here. Every stage has hidden pitfalls to be used against enemies, but they can also be dangerous to you. In one section you're in an elevator, and if both sides of the glass get damaged enough, you can knock or throw enemies out of them, sending them to their deaths. However, if you get too close, you'll lose a life as well, so it adds a hidden element of strategy in combat. Each stage is vastly different to the last. There's police stations, an aeroplane, subway trains, and sewers, with great attention to detail everywhere you look. Familiar enemies return, such as the Fatso who blows fire, that sneaky sod who charges you with a knife, and the Dominatrix with a whip. Boss fights are varied and have a fantastic rhythm to them. Everything about the game oozes cool, and with a cracking soundtrack to boot, there's literally no reason to avoid playing it. The original composers are back for Streets of Rage 4, and the electric synthwaves are also back to provide a sometimes thumping, sometimes chilled groove. It's authentic, awesome, and everything you could possibly want from a soundtrack to Streets of Rage 4. And there are so many throwbacks to that original trilogy, such as the weapons you can use. Miss those broken glass bottles and steel pipes? Well, they're back among a lot of other unique weapons, such as the mace. Chickens and apples will recover your health, but there are options in the menu that allow to change them up to different foods, providing a nice touch to what you choose to chow down on. You can also use the menu to change how the game looks. Miss the retro aesthetic but love the speed and fluidity? There's a retro and retro CRT option that makes it look just like the originals. Lizard Cube, Guard Crush Games and .emu have thought about everything, making Streets of Rage 4 appeal to older fans while inviting newcomers to the series as well. The story is over the top and a tad ridiculous, but it doesn't matter. There are a lot of surprises, such as returning characters and locations, and you can also unlock new stuff to replay the game with. It's not a long game, but the variety in levels and satisfaction while playing it give you more than enough reasons to replay the whole thing over and over again. Wonder Boy The Dragon's Trap was a stellar remake, but Lizard Cube has outdone itself with Streets of Rage 4. My only real issue is how abruptly it ends. After the final section, the credits roll without any real segue or exposition. Along with teaming up with friends online or locally, Battle Mode allows for up to 4 players locally or 2 online to face each other. Picking from a roster of characters, you can battle it out to finally answer the age-old question of who is better. Seriously though, it's a decent escape from the waves of AI-controlled enemies, and thanks to the wonderful combat, this mode adds something extra to the already excellent single-player campaign. Streets of Rage 4 is wonderful. Everything from the combat to the soundtrack is crafted with a great respect to the originals, providing a fresh take on the popular series. With plenty to unlock, including characters and tracks from the original trilogy, there's loads of replayability as well, and with the added battle mode, you'll never be without something to do. It's the perfect length, never outstaying its welcome, but quite honestly, I could play this forever and never get bored. Hi, Adam from GodIsAGeek.com here. Thanks for watching our Streets of Rage 4 review, written by Chris White. Really exciting to be talking about Streets of Rage. I never thought we would see this day, and I played it too. It's fantastic. If you do enjoy this video, please do click subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss a video. Maybe give us a little thumbs up and a comment about your favourite part of Streets of Rage, why you're so excited to be probably watching this and then playing it for yourself, I expect. And hey, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do that at GodIsAGeek. That's what we are on all the social media. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.